Title: Pay2Play. Tennessee football slapped with an $8 mil fine over a tsunami of violations. TLDR, NCAA bounces a whopping $8 million fine against Tennessee for a tidal wave of violations involving illicit payments and recruitment shenanigans. More than 200 infractions over 3 seasons, mostly involving sneaky recruitment practices and direct payouts to players and their families. Ouch. So, how did this go down, and where was the oversight? Okay, let's unravel this. Over the course of 3 seasons, the Tennessee football program slipped up big time. It wasn't just a few missteps, we're talking 18 level I violations, comprising more than 200 individual blunders. Most of these snafus revolved around breaking recruitment rules and handing out wads of cash to prospects, current student athletes, and their families. This serious slip-up led to the NCAA slapping Tennessee with a massive fine, a cool $8 million. I guess someone's gonna have to crack open their piggy bank. But let's be real, the NCAA didn't just wake up one morning and decide to pick on Tennessee for the fun of it. This hefty fine came on the heels of some seriously questionable actions, including a consistent pattern of paid unofficial visits and a smattering of direct payments to players and their families, with amounts totaling around $60,000. When it comes to the unofficial visits, we're not talking about a few casual meet and greets. This was a complex operation involving multiple prospects, family members, student athletes, individuals associated with the prospects, and even a few boosters. It wasn't just a slap on the wrist situation, as these visits resulted in over 100 impermissible hotel stays, hundreds of unallowed meals, and dozens of unpermitted entertainment benefits, recruiting contacts, game day parkings, and gear handouts. In fact, during the COVID-19 pandemic, when there was supposed to be a recruiting freeze to safeguard everyone's health, the Tennessee program continued to arrange and fund these covert visits, breaking the dead period rules. COVID can't stop, won't stop these violations, huh? Moreover, 2 lucky ducks, who later enrolled as student athletes, got some sweet cash from the former head coach and his wife. One prospect's mom even got a wad of $6,000, a down payment for a new car, which, by the way, is a big no in NCAA rules. The head coach didn't just dole out the green, but also neglected his responsibility to monitor his staff. This led to over 200 violations of NCAA rules, and none of those were self-reported. Talk about a recipe for disaster, right? The panel mentioned a toxic culture under the former head coach's leadership, where reporting violations was seen as inviting retaliation and backlash. It's like the Wild West, but with footballs instead of guns. In the end, the panel concluded that the failures at Tennessee were cultural and not just the responsibility of the compliance staff. A hard pill to swallow for sure, but will this $8 million lesson change things? Meanwhile, the school got a gold star for exemplary cooperation, with the panel noting that Tennessee acted swiftly, thoroughly, and decisively. So, what's the big takeaway here? Is it that honesty is the best policy, or that NCAA violations can come with a heavy price tag? So here's the $1 million question, or should we say, the $8 million question. Will this hefty fine act as a strong enough deterrent for other schools tempted to stray off the path of compliance? And more importantly, who's next on the NCAA's radar?